Death, destruction, decay. Death is inevitable. But from this death comes new life.
We may end up bringing this fight to our own doorstep.
Hey guys, AJYT Abbott here, and welcome back to another Fear the Walking Dead review. I'm a bit late to this one, sorry about that. I've just been kind of taking a bit of a break after my 800th video. We got some cool stuff coming up, but wanted to get these Fear the Walking Dead reviews out to you. You're getting this one and the episode 14 review back to back, so lucky you guys. But yeah, if you haven't seen this episode or you're not caught up with any of the episodes of Fear the Walking Dead up to this point, this review will contain some spoilers, some pretty big spoilers. So, this is a very June-centric episode, which I really love because Jenna Elfman is fantastic as June. She absolutely nails it. We also get Austin Emilio as Dwight, of course, and Christine Evangelista as Sherry. I hope I got her name right. Oh, I will feel so bad if I did not get her name right. But, and then, yeah, I did get it right. Evangelista. So yeah, we get them, and also we get a new character, John Dory Sr., played by Keith Carradine from Deadwood. He's an awesome actor, and I am so excited to see what he brings to the show, because in this episode, he is awesome. So he plays John Dory's dad. June discovers him after going out to look for evidence, because the end is the beginning group is steady marking up places. Morgan isn't currently wanting to speak to June because of what happened with Grace, and Morgan kind of feels like if they didn't have to get to June, the baby would have been fine, but he just doesn't understand. He's hurting, as Dwight says. But they're attacked by John Dory Sr., played by Keith Carradine, and June and him kind of go on this bit of a road trip and a bit of an adventure to John's cabin, where they can hopefully find Ranger Hill, who, if you'll remember, was the guy that Virginia sent off with Daniel and Grace in episode 9. We never found out what happened to him after Virginia told him to cut Grace and Daniel loose. We never saw what happened to him. Apparently, he's been hiding out in John's cabin. So we gotta find him. Dwight and Sherry are going through some rocky relationship issues. Dwight is kind of wondering why Sherry is pushing so hard to kind of get away from here, because Sherry reveals that she wants to go back to Virginia to kill Negan, which obviously isn't going to happen, because by the end of this episode she decides to stay. But not only that, but this show is kind of a few years behind The Walking Dead, so unless it took her like 8 years to find Negan, and then we see Negan's death in season 11, which wouldn't happen. But yeah, Sherry does decide by the end that she wants to stay with Dwight, which I like, because Dwight has earned some happiness, man. Like, seriously, this guy doesn't get anything his way, but Sherry kills a horse in the process, because she's really pissed off. She's trying to find gas so she can get to Virginia to kill Negan. She's like, I want to put a bullet in his head, for what he did to their marriage, and he's basically been the source of all their problems. And I see where she's coming from, but it's also you gotta also think about how Sherry has sort of I don't know. Sherry has been very, I don't mean to use this bitchy. She's been bitchy this season. So far, she has. But by the end, they do decide to stay together, which I like. Good for them. June and John Dory Sr. Discussed, certain things about John. Why John Dory Sr. actually left John when he did. What's happened with John, how he met him, or how June met him, and it's really some really good scenes and dialogue, because you see how John Dory Sr.'s, his reactions to certain things, like June tells him that like he became a cop, and that he proposed to June with a candy wrapper, which got a kick out of John Dory Sr. But the thing with John Dory Sr. is that he left John and John's mother because he didn't feel like he was worth, their time, I guess, because he was of course feeling guilty, not feeling guilty, but he put away Teddy. Actually, it's Teddy, the cult leader from episode 11, The Holding. The bearded crazy guy played by John Glover was a mortician that got a life sentence because of John's dad, which, if you remember, in episode 4, John was telling, or no, I think it was episode 8, possibly. John told Dakota. No. I'm right. It was episode 4. John told Rabbi Jacob that his dad put away someone on, he framed him. Which is, Teddy. So John Dory Sr. has been hunting him down. June, they're both kind of going through their own phases, discovering each other. And John Dory Sr. and June both reconciling with their choices and, facing John's death. We have a note in June's jacket, which Dwight and Sherry find that June is worried about, because it has a note from John that the rabbi gave her in episode 9 that she hasn't read yet. By the episode, she does read it, and oh my God, guys, it is such a tearjerker. I'll get to that later. But yeah, Dwight and Sherry are on their trail. June actually gets locked in the store that John was in, where he would, rent the movies out with June. And John Dory Sr. locks June in there because he cares about her, and he sees that as a way of protecting her, closing her off from him, which, of course, she argues that, she's just trying to save himself from having to lose someone he cares about again. And John Dory Sr. gets to John's cabin. He's kind of reminiscing. It's a very nice scene because you see all of his life, is coming back to him, being at this cabin. He said that's where he left John. And, it's got to be emotional for him. He finds Ranger Hill there, and Ranger Hill is looking wild because it's been a few months or so, or it's been a month or so since he split off from Virginia, since she was killed. And, they're fighting, and I hate Hill for this line. He was like, the previous occupant moved out, in case you hadn't heard. It's just, he's an ass. He's an asshole. Because I love John, and I miss John, but this is kind of a way for John Dory to be in the series again, but it's just his dad. But it's still the John Dory legacy is still being carried on. I love that. But Hill, he does actually succeed in shooting John Dory Sr. as John Dory Sr. gets kind of distracted by the grave of John, his son. And June does patch him up, though, which is good, and she kills Hill. She patches him up, and it's a really nice resolution there with them. That was good. And that's when June finally reads the letter from John, and Sherry decides that, she wants to be with Dwight after she reads that letter, because the letter is all about how big of an impact June had on John's life. He's like, my life was forever changed when you washed up on my shore, and, you always be my June bug, and it was so, so, so emotional. And Jenna Elfman, man, she's the bomb. She is absolutely incredible in this episode. I can't even express it enough. But it's a very emotional scene, because we never got that proper goodbye to John, and it's even, sadder, because John was like, I hope you forgive me for splitting off from you, as, same like I did with my dad leaving, how I forgave him. Oh, man. That hit, because John Dory Sr. was thinking this whole time, he's like, John never forgave me for that, and you most likely hated me. But it was the exact opposite. But, damn. And the episode ends with June and John Dory Sr. going to the dam and meeting, it's Morgan meeting John Dory Sr. I loved that, because Morgan's face, he's just so happy to see, this remnant of his friend is still alive, and he was like, how is this even possible? I love it, and he's obviously gonna have to tell Morgan a lot about Teddy, what he's planning, because he's like, he's not gonna stop until we're all dead. So that's what we got ahead of us for learning about Teddy. And in episode 14, we sure as hell learn a lot about him. But I'll get to that in the next review. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And as always, take care and goodbye.